Hi everybody, this is a video about tuning in intonation on your saxophone, and I want to start by explaining how I tune my saxophone before I start my practice sessions. It's important to make sure that you tune your instrument up before you start playing, otherwise your ombud is trying to do things that it doesn't need to do if you've got your mouthpiece in the right place. Okay, so the mouthpiece on the neck controls your tuning. So if you push the mouthpiece in, you'll make the instrument sharper, okay, so that you'll raise the pitch. And if you pull the mouthpiece out, you'll make the instrument flatter, so you will lower the pitch, okay. So if I put it in the middle here, which is kind of my general tuning point, and play it into the tuner, the smiley face shows you that I'm in tune, the note's in tune. Now if I pull the mouthpiece out on the cork, you can see that the semicircle below indicates that the note's now flat, okay, because I pulled it away from my tuning point. If I push it in, you can now see it's raised up the semicircles at the top. That means that the note's gone sharp, so I've pushed it in too much. So I need to find a point somewhere in between those, which I've actually marked up on here. There's a little pencil mark. Now that shows me that I'm in tune on that B, okay? So what I do next is I try to play the B, the A and the G, and I see whether they're all in tune on the tuner. One thing about doing this is when you take your saxophone out of the case, first of all, you'll find that it's probably, as we go into the winter, it'll probably be flat because it's cold. So you may need to give it a few minutes for your saxophone to warm up to room temperature. You can also close as many keys as you know on the saxophone and just blow warm air through it. This will heat the tube up and will take it to tuning point a bit quicker. Okay, so once you've kind of established that those three notes are in tune on your tuner, okay, it's leaning towards being a little bit sharp, but as soon as I start blowing the saxophone, it can raise the pitch a little bit just because it's getting a bit warmer. Okay, so I'm now going to play a C. Now a C has a tendency to be a little bit sharp anyway, so it may come up as being slightly sharp when I play it into the tuner. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull the mouthpiece out a little bit and try and get that C to go in tune. A little bit more. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit sharp, that's kind of okay. This allows you a catch net of about 5 cents, but unless it's going sort of 10 cents sharp or 10 cents flat, it's going to sound pretty in tune when you're playing the rest of the notes. And if you pull the mouthpiece out too much, your B and your A and your G will go flat. So your C will be in tune, but then the other notes will be flat. Now this is a problem with the saxophone. The saxophone is not a perfectly in tune instrument, so you have to work a little bit on the intonation of individual notes. So I talked about tuning in intonation at the beginning. Tuning is moving your mouthpiece to the right position on the neck. Intonation is about the tuning of individual notes when you play each note. So each note on the saxophone will have slightly different intonation, and you have to start working on controlling that intonation on a note. Now there are a couple of ways to do it. That you can use your tension of your jaw and your lip to either make the note sharper or make the note flatter. But you can also, the position of your throat also makes a difference to the overall tuning. So if you can almost imagine that you were singing the note and you're putting your throat in the position, you can't sing and play, otherwise you'll get a growly note. But you can imagine that your throat's in the position that you want to sing the note, and then the note will come out a lot cleaner, okay, and more in tune. If I play a B, I'll show you how I adjust my embouchure now. So I'll make it go flat, and then I'll make it go sharp. And then I pull it back into tune again. Now, if your notes are going sharp, a lot of the time it means you're squeezing a bit too hard. You're putting too much pressure on the reed, and you can hear how restricted the sound gets when I play the B and I squeeze too hard. Okay, and if I'm too slack, if my jaw, if my lip's not over my jaw, and I'm not putting enough pressure on the reed, then I'll be a little bit flat. So you have to kind of work out, it's a very fine tuning thing, this, to work out how to get the intonation of the note in tune. And as you practice more and you develop and play more long notes, which is basically developing this embouchure, you'll start to realize how you can slightly micro adjust the tuning on your instrument. Okay, so I hope that helps. This tuner app, you need to buy it if you haven't already got it, because it's the best app that anyone's ever developed for musical instruments, as far as I know. Okay, thanks a lot. See you soon.